Hello students, I'm back again with a new poem that is Aunt Jennifer's Tigers, written by Adrienne Rich. Now Adrienne Rich was an American poet, essayist and radical feminist. She was called one of the most widely read and influential poets of the second half of the 20th century. She is widely known for her involvement in contemporary women's movement as a poet and theorist. A strong resistance to racism and militarism echoes through her work. The poem Aunt Jennifer's Tigers depicts the picture of a woman who suffers greatly at the hands of her husband. She shows her feelings by creating tigers on a woolen strip of cloth. She carries the heavy weight of the wedding ring, which has also put metal bands on her movements. She has gone through the trials and torture of marriage. She naturally adopts tigers as her idol. A tiger is a symbol of strength, self-confidence, and freedom. Here, Aunt creates such tigers who are unafraid of men. Her own fingers are too weak to pull the needle through the wool. Her terrified hands bear the marks of her marriage ring, and the chicks pressed by uncle will not change even in her grave. The tigers, by contrast, will continue to enjoy boundless freedom in the forest. Children, the theme of this poem is, we can say, the constraints of marriage life of a woman. Here the poet is trying to show the uh, tensions, rather we can say, of a married woman. Now I begin with the explanation of the poem. Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across a screen, bright topaz denizens of a world of green. They do not fear the men beneath the tree. They pace in slick, chivalric certainty. Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance, that means jumps, and move across a screen or panel. The poet describes them as bright colored. That is, you see, bright topaz denizens of a world of green, it is told here. So here the poet is describing them as bright colored, like the shining golden yellow jewel topaz. So the poet is describing a lady whom she addresses as Aunt Jennifer. And she says that Aunt Jennifer is doing embroidery on a piece of cloth. Okay, she's doing a stitching work, that is embroidery on a piece of cloth. That can be a tablecloth or a wall hanging, something she is doing at home. And what the design she has taken there, she has designed it with beautiful tigers. What kind of tigers? Those tigers that prance across a screen. That means these tigers, beautiful tigers, are running fearlessly in the green forest. So her pattern is the tigers running fearlessly in the green forest. Why has she done so? Why she has taken those tigers? She has described the beauty. How has she described the tigers? Never we say that beauty, we say it is a ferocious one. But here, the beauty of the tigers, this lady has described. How? By comparing them with the precious yellow stone. You must be knowing the color of the tiger, yellow. So she has compared it with the precious yellow stone. And what is the name of that yellow stone? That is topaz. As I have already said, shining golden yellow jewel topaz. So they are fearless. For that reason it is told they are fearless. And how are they moving? They are moving fearlessly. They are not affected by the presence of anyone, presence of men. So we can say here that we can see the contrast of behavior between the tigers and Aunt. Aunt is very, we can say, nervous. She is having those type of marks on her face, that is tension, afraid of her husband. But the tigers, what she has picked up, they are fearless. They are not affected by anyone. So she has, though the tigers designed by her are fearless, but she herself is afraid of her husband. Okay, so here the person who is trying to show or to stitch the embroidery of the tiger, showing the fearless tiger, herself is having the tension inside her. She is afraid of her husband. Aunt Jennifer's tigers actually are not real or living tigers, we can say. Okay, these are only the images created by her on tapestry. That is, as I have already told, that is embroidery. Okay, they pace in slick chivalric certainty. What do you mean by chivalric? That is brave and honorable. Okay, and Jennifer, who is held captive by the oppressive hand of a patriarchal society where the man dominates, she herself is creating an art as an alternate world of freedom. So here the tigers represent her dreams, her desire. Many a times what happen, what we are not, we try to show it through our art, through our painting, through our drawing or through our talks. That means अंदर कुछ और बनने का अगर जज्बा हो, and if you have not got that chance, those things we can show through our talks or through our works, through our arts, through our drawings, through our paintings or something like that. So here the aunt is representing the tigers to show her dreams, her desire to be free. She wants to be free like the tigers are moving from one place to another. Okay, so this majestic and fearless tigers, they are also presenting a sharp contrast to the lady's character, as I have said, Aunt Jennifer herself, who is bound by the constraints of the married life. Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. So here the lady's fingers are trembling. Why? With the fear of her husband. The words uncle's wedding band, as the band was brought by a husband, it is his still today. So in the second stanza, Aunt Jennifer appears to be creating beautiful images of the tigers by using wool. She was doing her work on the tapestry, as we have already discussed, that is her embroidery work she was doing, and she was presenting the tigers. So here the poet describes the fear of Aunt Jennifer towards her husband. And she says that while she is doing that embroidery work, her fingers are quivering, shaking. Why? With the fear of her husband. Her husband doesn't approve her hobby of embroidery. Actually, she is doing her work, but in her free time, when her husband is not at home. And she has that fear in her mind that if her husband comes in between, then she can get some scolding, or she can be tortured or something like. She's so terrorized and tortured that she's unable to carry the weight of the wool. Her finger is fluttering. Therefore, she trembles while she is embroidering the piece of cloth. It has become difficult for her to pull her needle up and down. And then she describes the wedding ring which was given by uncle to Aunt Jennifer on their wedding day. She says that it is a kind of burden what is in her finger. She says that it is a kind of burden for her to wear this ring. Why? Because she has been tortured so much by a husband that the wedding ring, which could have been a very beautiful gift, which could have been a very precious gift for her, seems like a burden to her. She has faced so many difficulties in her married life that she thinks that it is a burden for her to carry. This means that the ring is associated with some bad experiences in the form of torture she has faced because of her husband's dominating behavior. Through this stanza, what does the poet want to convey? The poet wants to convey the fact that a woman throughout her lifetime, through her entire life, she works to glorify the tiger. Sorry, who is the tiger? That is a husband. But in return, what she gets? She even doesn't get a piece of appreciation. She feels so much subjugated that marital bond becomes a burden on her. And this is also the reality actually of Aunt Jennifer also, we can say. Many a times in many households we can see that the wives, they work for the entire life period, we can say. But still, what do they get in return? not even a single piece of appreciation. Same here is with the character Aunt Jennifer. She is so much tortured that the most precious, beautiful gift, that is a wedding ring, becomes a very heavy band that she cannot keep it in her, or she is unable to carry or lift that band. When aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie, still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. In this stanza, here actually this aunt wants to live a very free, fearless life, as she has represented her wish or her desire through the design of the tigers. It shows actually her innermost desire of being strong, fearless, which has been overpowered by her husband. Her frightened, shaking fingers will be put to rest. When? After her death. After her death, her desire of freedom and fearlessness shall remain alive in these tigers which she has embroidered. The final stanza reveals this sad truth. Which truth? That the poet says that even death will not be able to release Aunt Jennifer from the trauma, from the torture she had to undergo during her lifetime. Her life will become or remain a story of her ordeals and the oppression that she was subjugated to. However, the tigers that she has created, or the tigers that are created by her, will be eternal. They will always be proud and unafraid. But here, what do we get? We get a glimpse of an oft-quoted conventional theme in poetry, that art endures beyond human life. So here we can say the poet is trying to say that even after the death, or death even cannot take out the torture or the trauma that our character Aunt Jennifer has gone through. The poet says that one can easily sense that aunt's desire for freedom and fearlessness through her designed tigers, but she says that it is not possible for aunt to achieve this freedom during her lifetime. She will attain it only after death. But here, the irony of her life is that still she will be tied up with shackles in the form of her husband's wedding ring. On the other hand, there are tigers designed by Aunt Jennifer, which will always depict her desire of living a fearless life by jumping proudly and bravely on the piece of cloth. Now, children, let us talk about the literary devices. In the first stanza, you can hold the pencil in your hand, and in the first stanza, you write the rhyming scheme for this part is A, A, B, B. First stanza, the rhyming scheme is A, A, B, B. And devices, you see, metaphor. Here topaz, use of topaz to describe the yellow color of tigers. That is a bright topaz. That is a metaphor that the poet has used here. Then anaphora. Anaphora, that is use of same word in two consecutive lines. Which is that? They do not and they pay seen. That is your anaphora. In the first stanza you see. For the entire poem, the rhyming scheme will be A, A, B, B. Okay, now come for alliteration. Alliteration, you see fingers fluttering through her wool. F, F. Fingers fluttering through her wool. That is your alliteration. Okay. Next is irony. Where the poet has used irony, you see. Aunt Jennifer's creation will continue to prance freely when she continues to be chained by the woes of life. Next is chivalric certainty. Weight of wedding band prancing proud. Okay. Next, metaphor, I said that. Another one is there, you see, ringed with ordeals. That is your metaphor again. Ringed with ordeals. Imagery. Next is imagery. Aunt Jennifer's tiger prance across a screen. Bright topaz denizens of a world of green. That is your imagery used here. Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across a screen. Bright topaz denizens of a world of green. Next you see Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool. Find even the ivory needle hard to pull. This is your imagery. Next, what is the symbols? Tiger, bright topaz, fluttering wool, uncle's wedding band, ringed with ordils, embroidery. These are the symbols that the poet has used in order to symbolize something. Through these things, the poet is trying to convey a message to us. Okay? So here we come to the end of the poem. I hope I have made you very clear. Rhyming scheme is done. Poetic devices is done. Paragraph is explained to you nicely. So go through it. With this we come to the end of the poem.